Hello guys, welcome back. How are you guys holding up during this quarantine time? I know a lot of you guys are bored. I'm bored in my house. I literally get dressed fancy like this just to go to my kitchen. Table of one, please. Anyway, you guys, I have an amazing, mind-blowing story for today. There's a lot of details. I am very confused about this case, but before we get into that, look at this. It's so cute. Oh my god, this is like so party worthy. Because the gyms are closed, I've been working out at home a lot. I've been trying to meditate on myself. You know, I've been watching so many videos about spirituality, the universe, and so many amazing things. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about the case of the Busan Newlyweds. This case actually happened back in 2016, so it was about 4 years ago, and they are still missing. We don't know what has happened to them. We don't know if they have ran away. So this happened in Busan, part of Korea. Busan, I believe, is the second largest city in Korea after Seoul. It's about 6 to 8 hours drive from Seoul, so it's pretty far. People love going to Busan just because it's kind of like a vacation getaway. So we're gonna be talking about the newlywed couple, Miss Choi and Mr. Kim. They have only been married for about 6 months when this case has happened. So on May 27th, 2016, which is my birthday. May 27th is my birthday. This is the second case I'm talking about that happened on my birthday. What's going on? The bride was named Choi Sung-hee. She was 34 years old and she was a theatrical stage actress. She even earned a couple awards. She was really well-respected actress, and even her family said she was a great daughter, never forgetting her mother's birthday and anniversaries and things like that. She was also an acting teacher. So that day on May 27th, she ended her work pretty late at night. After work, she grabbed some groceries and she was seen in the elevator of her apartment at around 11:31 p.m. Around the same time, her husband was out drinking with his co-workers at his restaurant that he owns, and the husband is seen coming back to the apartment's elevator 4 hours later at 3:45 a.m. And this was the last time they were seen captured on CCTV. A couple days later, Choi's family thought that it was weird that she wasn't responding to their texts and calls, nor giving them texts and calls. So Choi's father actually called the police to go and check up on their daughter. When the police entered the apartment, their dog was left alone, had poop on the floors, which meant that the dog was alone for a couple days. The dishes weren't washed, the groceries were still left untouched on the table, even the milk that she bought was still left out. The car was also reportedly still in the parking lot, so it's not like they drove off. The family also said that Miss Choi really cared for their dogs, and it was very unusual that she would ever leave her dogs, and that's pretty true because I care for my cat so much, and I would never leave the house like overnight or anything and just leave my pets there. So the police started looking into this case, and Miss Kim's husband's phone was last traced on June 2nd, which was 5 days later, a couple miles away from their apartment. The very odd thing is Miss Choi's phone was last traced in Seoul on the same day until the phone basically died. I told you guys, Busan to Seoul, the drive is like 6-7 hours away, so it was so odd that on the same day, Miss Choi's phone and Mr. Kim's phone was found in 2 different locations. The most baffling thing about this case was there was 22 CCTVs in the apartment. So remember, they were caught on CCTV when they were going up to their house, but they were never caught on CCTV leaving the apartment. So how is this possible? How can they just go into the apartment but never been caught coming out? There were reportedly stairs near the elevator where people could just walk down, but once you arrive on the first floor, you should be caught on the camera. But they looked at the cameras and they weren't caught coming down that stairs. Now, the police and the family believe that the only way you cannot be caught on CCTV is if you use the exit emergency staircase. But when you get to the first floor of the exit door, there is a CCTV there. So when they looked at the CCTV, there's only a zoomed area where the CCTV captures the exit parking lot. So technically, you have to walk like right below the CCTV in order for you not to get caught in the camera frame. That's the only way you could basically get away without being caught in the frame. That part is baffling itself, because why would the couple, if they were just running away or whatever it was, how can they just want to escape the CCTV footages? Like, they don't want to be caught at all. You would literally have to know exactly where the CCTV is, exactly where the camera frame is, in order for you to plan this out very carefully. It was also reported that the couple was missing with their wallets, the laptop, and their passports. So at first, people thought maybe they ran away, maybe like something happened, I don't know, something about money, something about people trouble. and they just wanted to disappear because they took their passports. Because usually when you are kidnapped or something happens, no one is going to take your passport. I mean, you also need to know where that is. I don't even know where I keep my passport. I forgot. So technically, was it a thief that came into the house and like scavenged around for passports? And the police say there was no evidence of any altercation that might have went down. So during that 5 days that they were missing from May 27th, the co-workers of the newlywed got a strange text from them. So one of Mr. Kim's restaurant co-worker got a text from Mr. Kim saying, "Something came up, let's close the restaurant today," which was definitely unlike Mr. Kim. On Miss Choi's phone, she wrote to a co-worker, "I'm not feeling well. I don't think I can attend the rehearsal." Then again, a day later, Mr. Kim's co-worker at the restaurant got a call from him saying, "There's something that came up. Could you please take over the restaurant for a while? I'll explain later," and sent him money to run the restaurant. So the co-worker says Mr. Kim sounded like he hasn't slept in 2 days, like his voice was really gone. So we don't even actually know if this was actually Mr. Kim or it could have been an imposter. So then Miss Choi's coworker got a message from Miss Choi saying, "I will be quitting the performance." The coworker actually said it was very odd because comparing the text that was written from how Miss Choi usually texts compared to the text that she got recently, the phrasing of the words, certain vocabularies that she used to use was very different. So the coworker thought this cannot be actually Miss Choi. So it is said that every person has a unique way of using vocabularies and phrases and grammar. So it's like when you get a text from your close friend or your family and they use the different phrase and vocabularies that they would normally use, you could immediately tell that something is wrong or that someone else wrote the text for them. The coworker thought that this was super strange and he actually got the number of Miss Choi's husband, Mr. Kim. So someone that said was Mr. Kim picked up and said, "She has been on heavy drugs due to depression and is in the hospital. She cannot continue doing the stage performances anymore." Now, I believe the coworker has never talked to the husband before, so he probably didn't know what Mr. Kim usually sounded like. So we actually don't even know if this was actually Mr. Kim or if it was someone else. I mean, it could be two possibilities. The police contacted every hospital near their house, but there was no sign of them ever entering any hospitals. So this is when the coworker started talking about Mr. Kim's past. The coworker said Mr. Kim once had 2 phones, and one phone was to receive contact from a mysterious woman. This mysterious woman was revealed to be Yoon Bi-jin, who was his first love. They believe that they broke up because of some family reasons. Now this is when the story just has a plot twist and it goes crazy. So Miss Yoon, this mysterious woman, was revealed to be married to another man, but she actually divorced just after 1 month. Miss Yoon's first ex-husband says that he divorced Yoon because she kept meeting Kim secretly. She would have full makeup on whenever he came back from work. He thought that she was cheating on him, so it just led to a divorce just 1 month later. After the divorce, Miss Yoon went on to marry another man and they actually moved overseas to Norway. After Miss Yoon got remarried, that's when Mr. Kim married Miss Choi. Mr. Kim's friends and co-workers say that after they went on with their both separate lives, Yoon kept bothering Kim. She said that she cannot forget about Kim, she would keep spamming his phone and send love messages. Miss Yoon allegedly even threatened Mr. Kim saying, "I'll kill you if you marry her when I get to Korea." And she sent a lot of threatening messages not to only Mr. Kim, but to his new wife, Miss Choi. Allegedly, Miss Yoon then went on to have a daughter, but mysteriously, we don't know why, she ended up losing her daughter. After Miss Yoon lost her daughter, apparently she kind of went crazy and bizarre and started to like really ham on Mr. Kim. She said that she's gonna spend her life trying to revive her lost daughter, and her life is ruined like this because of Mr. Kim. Allegedly, the family, Mr. Kim, Miss Choi, just had such a horrible time because they kept on getting these threatening messages from Miss Yoon. On early May of 2016, remember this is the month that they disappeared, Miss Choi announced that she was pregnant and was expecting a child with Mr. Kim. She began to tell her friends and her family of how happy she was that she finally conceived a child. So almost around the same time, exactly like a couple hours, a couple days later, on May 5th, Miss Yoon flew back to South Korea along with her new husband who flew back to Korea 1 week later on the 14th. This was 10 days before the Busan couple went missing, you guys. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. Like the timeline, come on, you just cannot get this wrong. This was was actually known to be her first time visiting Korea in 2 years. Miss Yoon never told any of her friends and family that she was in Korea. First of all, you don't go back to your home country and not even tell your friends and your family, your own mother and father, your best friends, that you're back home. It was proven that she stayed at different motels and saunas, and she only used cash and never once used her credit card. This just tells you that this person just does not want to be traced. She does not want anything to be left behind. She doesn't want to tell anyone that she is here for an unknown reason. Then it was noted that she all of a sudden exchanged her ticket and left Korea on June 7th. Now, I remind you guys, this was around when the police was actually investigating in the Busan couple because they've been missing for a couple days. So there's actually no evidence, like hardcore fact evidence, that is linking Miss Yoon to this case at all. Of course, there's a lot of other evidences like we've talked about, but you do need a body, or you do need some kind of DNA or some kind of hard evidence in order to extradite the person. So the Korean police actually tried to extradite Miss Yoon that was living in Norway. Now remember, she's now back in Norway, and she was actually first arrested and was waiting on trial to be extradited back to Korea, but she wanted to fight this case and she got a lawyer, and she told the Norway court basically saying that she doesn't have to comply and she doesn't have to go back to Korea. She actually won this case. It took about 1 year and 6 months, I believe, for this case to go through, and the Norway court basically granted on her side, saying she doesn't have to comply and she doesn't have to go back to Korea. Now the reason is because there is no actual evidence that they found that leads to Miss Yoon. So it is only voluntary. So if the police tells you to come for an interview, it is voluntary. You don't have to go if you don't have to. Until the police can find actual hard evidence, they actually cannot extradite Miss Yoon. Police actually said they looked into everyone and she is the only person left to interview. The documentary and Miss Yoon's mother went all the way to Norway to try and talk to Miss Yoon. They even went up to her doorsteps and she wouldn't even answer her mom. Like, her mom was saying, I'm here, I came all the way to Korea to see you, open up the door, please let us talk. And she actually called the police and the documentary, and her mother had to just leave. Don't you think it is super strange that you wouldn't even let your mother talk to you? Like, she came all the way from Korea. If you're innocent, I mean, there should be nothing to hide. So unfortunately for adults in Korea, unless you have enough evidence and or a body, is actually declared missing for the adults. Because there was no forced entry or there was no altercation, or at least evidence of altercations, they just had to declare this as a missing case or a runaway case. Maybe they literally just ran away and wanted to disappear from everyone. Who knows? They say that unless you're a minor or a child, there's not enough support from the government to find all these missing adults, because there's just so many cases just laying around. I'm sure just like anywhere around the world, you could get a private investigator to work on the case and look yourself, but I'm sure that costs thousands of dollars. Like, I'm sure it's just as expensive as a lawyer, if not even more. So probably the family doesn't have that much money or even support to find them.
I forgot to add in the video, but people have questioned, why did Mr. Kim have 2 phones? I mean, was there something he was hiding as well? Also, Miss Yoon's biological brother states that Mr. Kim was the one who threatened their family. So this case gets cray-cray.
So you guys, it is super strange that this couple just vanished, literally vanished. It is super strange that they would take their passports. I mean, what was the reasons for the passports? Were they murdered? Were they kidnapped? Miss Yoon hired a hitman? Or do you think this couple, this newlywed couple, just ran away on their own free will and just never contacted their friends and family ever again? Do you think the phone call that the coworkers got was actually Mr. Kim? Do you think that somehow Mr. Kim is involved in this? My opinion, I mean, it is very strange that Miss Yoon is unwilling to talk. There's so many evidences against her right now, although there is no physical DNA evidence right now. I mean, there is a lot of evidence pointing to her, and it would be great if the police could get an interrogation or an interview with her to find out a little bit more. Would love to know what you guys have thought. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, you guys, and remember, have a magical day.